Hey guys, how is everyone? If you hear that, that's just my AC going on. So yeah, this is my 100 subscriber celebration. I have 112, I think, as of today. And I decided I'd do like an Ask Me Anything. Sorry, I'm getting all these notifications popping up. So I figured if anyone's got any questions, they can give an ask. If not, I'll just fill some dead air by talking and showing off calligraphy and everything. Whatever. Thank you, Laura. Let's see. We've got some people, whether they're still here or not. I'm gonna give them a shout out. We have Laura, divided by sight. Lauren, sorry, I don't know why I keep calling you Laura. We have Devin, cutting. Hello, and Nicole, the blind mage, is here. Welcome, everyone. See, what's your favorite color? Oh, my favorite color. I like cerulean. I'm very particular. I like cerulean blue, and that is actually my favorite color. The next would be probably an onyx black. I like to have that kind of stuff. Let's see. All right. So how's everyone today? I'll probably be having this for probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I do have a D&D game that I get to play in every Saturday night. So I love doing my tabletop gaming. Nice. Naps. I like naps. I don't take as many as I should though. I mostly stay up till about 0400 and then I go to sleep. Let's see. Sorry if I'm a bit nervous. This is my second time doing a stream, so don't really know what you talk about during streams aside from just, I'm here. Let's see. Well, my husband decided he was going to give me a lot of stuff that I could talk about to fill in dead space. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Lauren. I'm glad that I'm at least doing a good enough job. Let's see. Are there any things you might want me to talk about? Oh, thank you, Devin. Favorite authors. Okay. I can actually give a lot of favorite authors. I like Gail Carson Levine. She was the first person that I read about twisted fairy tales and retellings, and my favorite is El Enchanted. I like David Eddings and his wife Leah Eddings. They were the ones who did the high fantasies that I enjoyed reading as a kid. I also liked the Animorphs by Kay Applegate. Neil Gaiman is a big one. I like Edgar Allan Poe. My favorite book of all time happens to be this. Let me see if I can show you a better page. This is actually a 1950s version of Dracula. So yes, that goes into the answer for what the blind mage asked. I like Dracula. I actually collect several copies of Dracula. I was very close to getting a first edition for less than $150, but I got sniped at the very end on the auction. I was sniping another person. Almost, very close. Hey, Colin, how are you? Welcome. Let's see. I didn't get a chance to show this book last time. This is actually, like I tell you, I do a lot of leather-bound journal work, and this is my actually most expensive journal. Uh, I do a lot of art on there. Let me see. I actually have a character sheet. There are so many versions of Dracula. You are correct. There are an extensive amount of Dracula. Some of them have been done. Well, the original was epistolary, and then others have done, um, condensed versions, edited versions, things like that. This is an example of a D&D character sheet. Yes, I do have a book on Amazon. I still have a feeling for that book. I don't have any moderators, and I don't even know how to do moderators. I apologize. I'll probably have to give you a wrench at some point, Devin, because, oh, here, it's a manage moderators list. Let me see. Let's see. It says no users found. Let me see if I can do that. I will have to figure out. I will do that another time, but I will figure that out. Go into the YouTube and click the name. Let's see. I'm actually curious about this. I see. I see. Okay. Thank you. Again. Well, yes. He is definitely the omnipotent. He seems to have tags everywhere. I think I just gave him his wrench. So, I think so. I think I did that right. I'm actually very new. If you guys are curious, I started my channel as an AuthorTube official channel back during the write-a-thon, which was at the end of September. No, not end of September. End of August. This is the end of September. So I believe I got 100 followers in less than a month. That, I think that's a cool achievement. I'll be happy if I get more. If not, that's fine too. There we go. I think I now got you as a, I think I now wrenched you. That can be a little hard to do. Let's see. What is sleep? That's a good question, Devin. I don't know. Get back to me. It's something that my husband says I need to do more of. Our sleep cycles are very off, though. Because he works as a paraeducator, he sleeps during the night so that he can go up and teach the kids. I stay up because I'm more active. I do more work. I do more everything while I'm at night. So let's see. Yeah, if you have any questions, if not, I'll just keep, rambling because I find it's fun to ramble. Let's see. Some things you might not know about me is that, I am hard of hearing. I actually can't hear out of this ear, if that helps. I do a lot of lip reading and I do some signing. If you're speaking loud enough, I can hear you. But for the most part, it is like hearing underwater. So let's see. Divided by Sight is asked, what am I drinking? It is actually a hot chocolate coffee mix that I put a...
If they're complaining about the echo, you might want to make sure that the laptop has sound.
The laptop does not have sound. I have a mute. I have it muted. But I will put that again. Is there an echo, guys? Please let me know. Because I have everything muted except for except for my phone. So this is coffee, hot chocolate mixed with a stick of cinnamon in there, although it's almost gone now. Okay. I was just curious because I do have I do have my computer on with this too, so that I can answer any questions I need to type in. Uh, okay, yeah. So you understand, Devin. It can be a pain in the butt to be like, my God, I can't hear you. It frustrates people because I say what a lot, and when I'm listening to something, I have it up really loud, or I've got the captions scrawled. The good thing is that my husband has here I can do it in sign. My husband has two deaf brothers, so he and his family are very used to signing. So we are very big into the deaf community. So it's a little easier if I don't understand something, we sign. It makes conversation in the dinner funny though. People are like, "Don't talk at the dinner table." Okay. Yeah, for the drink, I just wanted to like I love cinnamon. I like the only thing I like more than cinnamon is ginger. So I wanted to see what it would be like, and I enjoy it. The only problem is because I'm using an actual whole cinnamon stick, um, it can get it can start tasting more cinnamon than it does anything else. So it can get very frustrating. Let's see. Another thing most people don't know about me is I'm actually a type 1 diabetic. That's what this is. This is actually my pancreas because my actual pancreas no longer works. So I have a few devices that keep me running. And trust me, if these things aren't working, I'm in the hospital. So these things have to work at all times, which is why having health insurance is very important because this thing alone is $6,000, and I'm not even talking about the refills that I have to do every couple of months. So I'm just really, really lucky that I have good insurance. Because if not, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Because it is really ridiculous about how much all this stuff costs just to live. Let's see. I do want to let people know that I'm actually going to be starting a calligraphy workshop. Or not work. Well, I am doing the calligraphy workshop. I'm working on that. It's going to take a bit. What I meant is that I am starting a calligraphy shop, an actual shop, where I'm going to start selling things that I can do with calligraphy, either pre-made stuff. I've gotten some pre-made suggestions, as well as taking commissions. Commissions depend on, you know, time, materials, money, what you want done. Let's see. Son's type 1 diabetic. Oh, that's nice, Colin. I wish they would make it free in America, but they don't do that. It's just a pocket gouge, and unfortunately, we've lost a lot of type 1 diabetics due to siphoning their insulin because of how expensive it is. It's like 600 US dollars just to get maybe 2 or 3 sticks, like the insulin needle pens. And those pens don't come with the needles. So now you've got to pay about 50 to 100 bucks on the needles, and it just gets really frustrating. That's why I like the pump, but the pump is very expensive and not everyone can afford those. Yes, take my money. Well, believe me, I'm willing to take anyone's money, but I would like to at least give you guys something in return, a product. Oh yeah, Devin. Yeah, I used to use insulin pens and I still have them because sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes this thing, depending on where I've put the site, won't work all the time. Um, so the insulin pen helps keep me adjusted if this thing starts having problems. It does not happen too often, but it happens enough. Oh yeah, dental and healthcare suck in the US. That's because we have a sick care system. We don't have a healthcare system. It's the sad thing is people that get sick get punished. It's a sick care system. You know, like my husband and I have really great insurance. I'm the only one that really uses it because I have to. I have to have my blood drawn every 3 months or so. So it's it can be just crazy. And I understand, Devin. It runs in the family. What's funny is that we didn't even know about the diabetes until, well, we didn't know that it even existed in the family till my mom had type 2 diabetes. And I got my type 1 actually when I was 27. Most people don't think that you can get type 1 as an adult. They say that type 1 is from childhood to 30. After that, it becomes something different. But I'm sorry, I'm getting all these things. Oh, all these reviews. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm actually working on going into pitch wars and all of that. So I've been reviewing people's queries and synopses. Um, but yeah, it's like, geez, I just forgot what I was talking about. Let's see. um, Other things I can talk about is I do have a Patreon. I know I set that up very early, but I actually had the Patreon set up before the YouTube because my husband and I were like, so what am I going to do? So we've been playing around with things for quite a while. And so far, what we're doing is behind the scenes, as well as eventually, when there's enough people, I'll do a voting system so people can tell me what they want to talk about. Uh, on the channels, because right now I'm just doing things that I like to talk about, but I don't know. There could be something another person wants that I'm not aware of. So it's always good to do. Eventually, I'm going to open up probably editorial services on my Patreon because my husband is a freelance editor, and I'm like, well, I know there's enough writers that want a little bit of help in that. And then, of course, I'm going to do probably some calligraphy stuff there as well. Let's see, there's no history in our family. Yeah, then that's the thing with diabetes too, is you can catch it from other things. Like type 2 seemed to be in my family, but I got my type 1 from having pneumonia. And the pneumonia killed my pancreas. And because we didn't catch it for 6 months, and that was due to not having health insurance at the time. It was before my husband and I were married. And I own my own business, so insurance is incredibly difficult to try to get. So I was brought to the hospital in a coma, and that's kind of how we found out that that's a very interesting ordeal that happened, and I don't recommend it for anyone. You quickly learn that you're willing to do anything to keep yourself alive. Anyways, well, let's see. Since I have all my books around me, I don't remember if I showed you guys this book. This one was actually a journal at one point that was supposed to be my um, journal, if you want to call it, when I was going to have my book published that was with an agent. This book has been shelved now, and that's just because I want to make sure that I do something else. But that's kind of the sample of what I do with my calligraphy. It is all hand done. I don't trace anything. I'm actually going to be doing a video, how to learn how to do Celtic calligraphy with me, with one of the books that I'm starting, because I think it would be a little fun thing to show people how I learn how to do calligraphy. Let's see. Favorite movies. Favorite movies are harder, mostly because I actually don't watch that many movies. I have watched a lot of movies. I have favorite TV series. Let's see. My favorite TV series is either Petticoat Junction or Quantum Leap. But I'm not sure which one I prefer more. I also like I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched. A lot of the older classics. I grew up liking those. Favorite movie. Favorite movie. Huh. That's a hard one. I'm honestly not sure. Hans. See if I can get my husband to help me out. He won't be on camera. He's a little camera shy, but let me see. I know you can't be on camera, but do you know what my favorite movie is? I don't really know if I've got one. I know I've got favorite TV series, and I've shared that.
Consider the
Vampire Judy? I mean, it's a good anime movie, but I don't know if that's still my favorite. See, that's the thing is I don't watch enough movies to think of what would be a favorite movie.
technically, if you only watch one movie, that one has to be your favorite.
That is true. That is very true. I
talk about the categories of films that you
that's true. So
sort of writer like.
so yeah, as my husband pointed out, since I'm kind of like I don't know what my favorite movie is, I have a favorite genre. I like to watch a lot of dark, fantastical movies. Some of them are horror. I'm not very much into the gore horror unless it has psychological horror or a story behind it. I don't like killing for the sake of killing. Oh yeah, no, he thought about the anime because my husband and I work for Otakon, which is probably the East Coast largest anime convention in the United States, aside from like New York Comic Con or something. And we actually work for Otakon or volunteer for them, and we work for the live action role play department. So anime is big in our house. Lupin the Third is our biggest when it comes to anime. Fun fact, Devin, when I was in a competition in middle school, a drama competition, and I played the character Lucille Ball. I was trying to sell a diet pill. It was or a diet bar. It was something that was supposed to be the prompt was pick two famous people. We picked William Shakespeare and Lucille Ball, and we were supposed to do some type of infomercial. And that's what we did. I was like my face was where a doll was, and it was for me to show off, how I got from really big to really skinny. It was a really funny infomercial. And that's what we did. It's probably very insensitive now, but it was something we had did when we were children. So, well, as children as you can. Goonies, Capital Harlock, Space Pirate. I do actually enjoy the Goonies. I don't think I've ever seen Captain Harlock or Space Pirates. I love Labyrinth. Muppets are very fun. I do enjoy the Muppets a lot. Let's see. Hook was really good. Dracula 2000. Rocky Horror Picture Shows. I love the Addams Family. Very much into the twisted, the strange, the gore, or not the gore, but the horror. Let's see. Trying to think. I have a lot of like my taste is rather eclectic, so I don't really have one that stands out more than the other. And I think it just depends on what time of the day, what time. Like around Christmas, I like to watch the rom-coms. I enjoy rom-coms. I do like chick lit movies because I think they're funny. And my husband will actually sit there and watch them with me. He enjoys romance comedies too, like Kate and Leopold is one of them we like. Let's see. Favorite anime. There's a big can of worms. Have you seen my anime? Oh God. Over here, one of my bookshelves has what 400 books, I think, in a manga. Let's see. Favorite anime. Vampire Hunter D is not an anime, although I love it. We are very big into Lupin the Third. That is an anime that started before we were born and is still going. Like we were born in the 80s, it started in the 60s, I believe. Love Lupin the Third. It is a thief anime. It's so fun. Let's see another one.
How is this not an anime?
It's not. Vampire Hunter D only had 2 movies. They haven't made a full.
It's an anime.
Okay.
It's not an anime series.
No, that's what I mean. They're talking when they say favorite anime, I'm thinking anime series.
Clarify that.
Okay. Vampire Hunter D is my favorite anime. Or manga. It's a nice cult classic that I like. It is sadly not an anime series because it's a cult classic. It never got as much traction as it should have. Because it should have. I do like Hellsing, but I like Hellsing Ultimate as opposed to the original anime because Hellsing Ultimate is more towards the books. I prefer that more. Let's see. Which one is a good graphic novel? Oh, let's see. For Vampire Hunter D, which book is your fave? Oh, God. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let me grab it. Let's see which one. Is it three or is it You know, I think one of my favorite anime series is also Bacano. Let me see. Trying to figure out which one of the Vampire Hunter D. That one. I think it's this one. Yeah, I believe it's this one. Or is it this one? See, now you've got, oh, it's this one. That one. This one is actually about them crossing a very dangerous desert. So, and I absolutely love the anime or the art that Saiko, I believe it's Saiko. I cannot pronounce these right, so it could be Saiko. I'm not very good at pronouncing Japanese, sadly, but the artist kept really good with Amano's work, kept very true, so I actually enjoy that. Now, of course, I also have the actual books. Now, I only pulled out some of them because there's like a lot more volumes. Like this is volume 21, so there's there's actually a lot more volumes. Hey, Megan. Sorry, they're out there. We're all asking about anime series and everything. How are you today? Let's see. Is the anime manga? Makes me think you. Oh, I probably would. And I should look into Captain Harlock, if I'm saying that right. Could be Harlock. Sorry. Let's see. Has anyone asked yet when you first started to learn calligraphy? I actually started learning calligraphy back when I was learning cursive. That was in Germany. I think I was about, was it preschool or was it kindergarten? I might have been 7 or 8 when I started. I enjoyed the calligraphy or the cursive to the point where I wanted to learn how to make my handwriting look like my teachers or anything like that. So I got very fascinated with handwriting. And then I had a friend who would start doing calligraphy too, and I started copying her style. And I learned that I'm actually pretty good at copying other people's handwriting, which probably scares some people. I've never tried to copy signatures. Well, that's a lie. I've tried twice with my mom's and my husband's, but that's because sometimes my husband's like, "Oh, just sign stuff for me." I'm like, "Okay." But for my mom's, it was just I wanted to see if I could get what she did down. But yeah, languages, like, for me, calligraphy fascinates me because it lets you see what people thought of. Like nowadays, we just think of it we take it for granted. But when it was, when we see all the nice calligraphy, the medieval stuff, a lot of people don't realize that only belonged to the scribes, and they actually took it as an art form. For them, a book wasn't just for people to read. Only a few people could read, and that does include the kings. The kings didn't know how to read. That's why they actually had scribes. They didn't know how to read. They didn't know how to do any of this. They trusted their scribes to be able to tell them what was right and what was wrong. And scribes would take it as an art form because you actually got paid in higher prestige when you had better handwriting or you were paid for more stuff. That's why we had illuminations, illustrations, as well as all the big flourishes. It was a sign of importance to be able to do that. And I wish it would come back because it is a very much a dying art. I don't know anyone who caught my calligraphy live stream that I did during the writer's retreat probably heard me say that there's only 12 recorded master penmanship masters in the entire world. There's only 12 of them. They're all part of the IMPETH, which is actually an international penmanship association that I'm going to hopefully join. You can join that, but in order to become a master, you have to actually have one of the masters recommend you to do that club. And the only way you're considered a master is if you actually make your own diploma. You should look them up. Their diplomas, my God, they blow my calligraphy out of the water. I'm such a novice compared to them. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I definitely want to improve on that. And I think calligraphy really speaks about what a person is or what a person does. I like to open up older books and kind of touch the calligraphy like I was showing. Like I was showing with this one. Because when you get to touch the page, you actually feel the brush strokes. You feel, and it makes you kind of wonder about the person. Like I don't know. It's an obsession of mine. It's a big obsession. That's why I can't stand the computer. It distances me from the book. I feel like I bleed when I do everything in handwriting. What did you not know, Blind Mage, about the Now I want to read poetry. Oh, I love reading poetry. Oh yeah, I actually have. I bought a book, Colin, on both how to bookbind as well as how to do illuminations because I eventually want to be able to do both. I even have scraps of leather and I have silk and stuff like that I want to start using for bookbinding. I actually wanted to learn more, and I follow some bookbinders on the internet on YouTube because it's a fascinating thing, and it is a dying art. If I do start bookbinding on a regular, I might add that to my shop too, but I'll be honest, I don't think people are going to buy those because you're talking bookbinding that might go into $500. I mean, with how much the leather and everything costs, we're talking a lot of money. So it's like, I'm not going to sit there and even pretend that people would buy that kind of stuff. And my coffee's gone. That's okay. One moment, I'm going to put on the kettle again. Sorry, so much dead space. I thought I'd also bring him by. This is my Acheron. Hey, you gonna say hi? No? Okay. He definitely said no on that one. Sorry, there's a bit of shaking because of the hitting the desk. Let's see, we were talking last night on Charlie's stream. I'm now thinking of my short story collection or leather-bound book of poems for my beloved. Because you do it so well. Aw, thank you, Colin. Yes, your wrench finally appeared, Devin. Like I said, Colin, you know where to contact me. You can contact me here. You can contact me on my Instagram. I believe I've got that down there. Direct message me on my Twitter, I think. I might actually have the settings where you have to friend me before you can do that. I get some weird texts otherwise. I don't know, I've actually had a lot of high schoolers and stuff try to hit on me because I should be their age, and I'm like, no, I'm old enough to be your parent. I know I don't look it, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm willing to do that. The only thing I ask is if it is official. Sorry, my cat is going crazy. He's playing with his toys. If it is an official poetry that is from another author and it's not in public domain, I might get in trouble to do so. That's why I'm a little hesitant about doing I'm hesitant that somebody might ask me to do a famous book that's out there already, and I'll be like, guys, copyright issues, I might get sued, so I don't think I can. But if it's your poetry and you give me that permission, that's fine. I just pay based on, or I ask for money. I charge based on materials hourly. If there's illustrations, which falls into the hourly. Materials fall into the type of books, the type of leather. Some of them, some of them are really cheap. This guy, he's over $100-something. He is handmade by a friend, not me. Definitely not me. This one might have been $30. I cannot remember 100%. Let me see. Seeing if Barnes and Nobles actually had something, but it doesn't look like it. But it really depends. But what I do is I would talk about it up front, and I would give you choices on covers because I would have to probably order them. And then we would just go in. I'd probably ask for half down, and then I would definitely make sure you have the preliminary sketches so that you can see what I'm doing and see if it goes to what you want. I probably will do the preliminary sketches before I even ask for money, but I'm not sure. I need to figure that out better. The other thing I'm going to do, another case-by-case basis. Is this stuff. These are actually books that they're art books, but the books actually come blank, and they're canvas, so you can paint on them if you want. And I have 2 blank ones here right now, but I can also order more. And that was another thing I was doing for friends, is they were telling me what they wanted, and then they paid based on, again, how much time. I had one person have me do a double side, fully colored. I actually don't like doing things in color, but I can because I do oil paintings, and this was done in marker, but I can also do it in oils, acrylics, or I could do them in watercolor, but oils are my favorite paintings when I'm doing that. Let's see. Sorry, it's like I'm just getting into talking. I'm sure you won't hit on me, Colin. I just know that there are some weirdos that have. There really are some weirdos that have hit on me, and I find it rather funny myself because. One moment. My kettle started going crazy. It's done. Let me see. Yeah, Let's see. You were taught to tape it to a window and allow the light to show through when writing. Nice. Sorry, I was looking at another thing somebody had texted me on that. That's pretty cool. I I mean, the window version sounds like an early form of Lightbox, which that works too, to be able to use a Lightbox to do your writing, to learn how to do it. I actually don't. What I do is I actually look up the calligraphy that I'm wanting to learn, and I literally just start working on it. So I make a lot of my mistakes, but that's what also helps me learn how to craft it into my own way of doing calligraphy. Because I think no matter how much you make it look like somebody else's, you still every artist still makes it their own in some way, shape, or form. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so then it's a lot more easier, Colin, with it being your own poetry. It's like as long as you give me permission to do so, then and you don't like send lawyers after me once it gets published. Believe me, I the only thing I'm gonna do is take the money for my initial work. I don't care about, you know, anything else. Let's see. Check the time. All right. Good, good. Like I was saying, I'll probably go for maybe till 6:30 unless, people start dying down and I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to anyone else. I am glad that people actually showed up because I was like, this is very, very last minute, and I know that there are people that are doing stream. Well, I don't know if there's anyone doing streams today, but I'm sure there are. So I was like, I'm gonna have some people show up, and if they don't, then I'll just bring my husband out here and we'll just sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk. Fun fact, he's my editor, but he actually is also my co-writer. He's my co-writer because he has a better grasp at the English language than I do. A lot of people think that I'm very nice with it, which I guess is okay, but I learned how to speak English at the same time I learned how to speak German. So I speak a lot of Yoda speech, Yoda-ese. Like I mix up the subject verb agreement all the time. And it's such a pain because that's what I get most of my edit critiques over is, why are you speaking like that? And I'm going, well, that's how I learned. I've always spoken that way. And apparently it's a part of being bilingual, is that especially when you're younger, and I'm sure anyone who understands speaking different languages, that sometimes you get things mixed up. And I have a tendency to mix up a lot of my writing that way. So when I edit, I'm doing 6 to 12 different edits just to try to fix all that. And we learned that when he writes it, when he actually fixes it, it not only is more clear, it sounds better. So Devin says, yes, there's lots of streams today. I figure it's Saturday. I mean, that makes sense. I just didn't want to host it on Thursday or Friday because Charlie's stream is on Friday and I like to go to his streams. I like to go to his streams all the time. It's fun for me. And Thursday is my writers group, which I guess I could stream during that time, but I don't tend to stream during that time. Well, this is actually my second stream, so I'm kind of like wading the waters here. Let's see. So I answered Megan's question. Does anyone have any other questions you can think of? If not, I'll just kind of go into something else because I have absolutely no idea. I'm just kind of here for it. Let's see. I'm not used to doing, by myself here. I do apologize for not having too many videos. Like I was going to have a video last week, but my husband was commandeered by another friend of ours that we work for. We actually sell mathematical puzzles. And at some point, I'll show those off because those are rather fun. But she was under a large deadline where she had to have a video completely edited and everything within less than a week to go to Japan. So he I lent my husband out so that she could get her video done, and it turned out awesome. It is very awesome. Uh, but that took away from my thing. My next video that's coming out that we are editing right now is an ASMR video where I actually speak about, or I speak on one chapter that I of the book that I wrote and I shelved. Um, it is very dark. Like, not the book. I actually have a very dark lighting because I'm trying to make it spooky on purpose. So, well, we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to do a video about Pitch Wars because that's something I'm doing, as well as, yes, honey? Okay, he just opening or closing the door, as well as I need to work on the calligraphy workshops. Like I said, those take a bit of time, and I am definitely learning how to finagle my camera around. Husband rentals only for his editing, Devin. Not going to rent him out for anything else. Yeah, I actually decided that when I get enough people on my Patreon, and that I'm going to open up where you can get editorial services, like if you need stuff edited and how much you need edited, because I figure people are going to want those, and he is very good at what he does. He's harsh, but he's very fair. He's very good at what he does. And it seems like people really need an editor. That's what they tell me, at least. Favorite foods: Alfredo and mashed potatoes and gravy. Another fun fact is that my mom, when she was pregnant with me, could only eat mashed potatoes and gravy for all 9 months. And that was only if she could eat. And apparently, I took that with her and decided I was going to eat mashed potatoes for the rest of my life. Now that I'm a diabetic, I've turned it into mashed cauliflower because cauliflower is actually nicer to the not pancreas. It's nicer to my blood glucose levels. Alfredo's always been a favorite of mine, though. I absolutely love Alfredo. My husband makes a really good shrimp and cranberry Alfredo. And we tend to make it with no seasonings so that people can add seasonings, because we have friends who are allergic to pepper. And I mean any types of pepper. She can't have black pepper. She can't do white pepper. So we have to be very careful on the Alfredo sauce we use too. And that's just because when we tend to make the shrimp Alfredos when we've got guests. Let's see. Aw, cheerful and relaxed streams. I don't even know how streams are supposed to be. So if it's cheerful and relaxed, it's because I'm nervous. This is how I do things. I like to be relaxed. I like to be chill because, if not, I mean, why should a stream be all about I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I love his shrimp and Alfredo, or his shrimp Alfredo with cranberries. He tends to, like, I can cook, but not nearly as good as he can. Sorry. Like I made a good clam chowder for him on Valentine's Day, and that was probably the first time I actually ever cooked, because my mom, for the life of her, only wanted to do microwave. So she said, "Here, learn how to microwave stuff." And that's basically what I did, is I lived off of microwave food. But thank you guys. I'm glad. Cauliflower rice. I've actually never, yeah, I've never had rice cauliflower, but I do enjoy making stuff out of cauliflower. I've actually, let me see, I have a book over, well, sorry, I've got a lot of books. I have probably about 1,000 books. I think some of you have seen my bookshelves. They're over there. Well, some of them. You've got a few. You've got one back here. This bookshelf's primarily for my leather bounds, although I've got a lot of books there that aren't leather bound at the moment. What?
1,000?
I think we're at 1,000, babe.
I think we might have 1,000.
Okay, so we might have 2,000. I know we've got books back in Tennessee. My mom still got hordes of them.
Yeah. So we'll try doing
Oh God! When we move to our house, which hopefully will be this year, hopefully it's COVID, so you never know. We'll count all the books and let you know. We have too many, or well, not too many. You can never have too many, but we have more books than we have bookshelves. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 bookshelves, and I still have more books. So yeah, I have a lot of books, but it's because it's like the Brady Bunch, but with books. He had books, I had books. They came together. Lots of books. Oh yeah, no, definitely bibliophiles. My husband's collection, the most books we have is by Isaac Asimov. We even have a couple that are signed by Asimov. We also have these ones, which are some of his autobiographies. So we definitely have a lot. Asimov's probably the most. After that is probably the Animorphs, I would think. Sorry, kitten. I'm not trying to scare you. Oh yeah, I think we've got several of the Foundation series. Like we have the hardbound books. We have the ones that are all in one. We have the short stories. I keep looking at all the books that I might or might not have. Got lots of books. Let's see. Nightfall seems to be one of our favorites. I like Sally, which for anyone who doesn't know, Sally, let me see if I can fix my camera a bit. Sally was a short story about a car that is a living car. Not Carrie. No, Carrie wasn't the one. I know Stephen King did one about a car at some point. But no, it wasn't that one. But the car in Isaac Asimov's book was very. Are you going to help me with that too?
Christine the Chevrolet.
Why did I say Sally? Okay, it's Christine.
No.
Oh.
Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King did Christine. Okay. Asimov did Sally.
With the autos.
With the autos. Which one came first, do you know?
Offhand, I don't know. I checked, but I would guess Asimov.
I mean,
it's just one's a short story movie.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Asimov came first, if Christine. Well, no, he said he was inspired by his car, but at the same time, I kind of wonder if he was.
It's a huge difference between one main character being a football jock and the other one being a retired chauffeur.
Yeah, but they're both evil cars. Okay, Sally's not evil, but she did try to kill someone. Yeah. One day I'll try to get my husband on here, but for the most part, he's just he's such an introvert that he's like, nope, I'm gonna hide. Another book that I have is this, which most people know about George R. R. Martin. This one was actually before it became a TV series. The reason why I show that one off is because I actually have it signed. I actually went and met the author and had it signed. So it is a first edition paperback with a signature. I do like to do that. I like to collect that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, Colin said that Sally's short story came first. It would make sense because Asimov started his career much earlier than Stephen King. Yeah, I love signed copies of books too, Megan. If I could, I would go find every book that, or all the authors I have books for, and sign them. Yeah, have them signed. Those that were still alive. I was really upset because Cap Claim was this year, and I was going to have Peter sign this one. And the reason why I really like this one is I found it actually at a used bookstore, and it contains like alternate chapters and stuff, but this book is actually $150. This thing is not it's a special edition. It's not even the first edition. It's just a special edition that has poetry in there as well as interviews with the author and stuff. And I was like, man, I want him to sign it. And then of course COVID happened, so now I can't get him to sign it. That was frustrating. Let's see. We also like Larry Niven. You can tell we have some like my first novel I ever wrote was about was a sci-fi. Although I don't tend to write in sci-fi now, I like a lot of sci-fi. Let's see. This is another author I like, Gail Carson Levine, or not Gail Carson. This is Gail Z. Martin. So many Gails. I forget all the names. I actually know her in person, and she's a friend of mine. I don't know how popular she is, but I know David Drake liked her book series, and David Drake's really popular. But I like her stuff because she does dark necromantic type things. So I'm just gonna start talking about books. I could also start, showing off my pen collection, but I think I did that already. What genre would you never consider writing? I think a lot of what I wouldn't do is social issues, but that's because I don't know if that's even a genre, but that's just something like my kitten. Goodness. I don't think I have the appropriate voice for that. I could talk about the issues of a diabetic. I could talk about the issues of having 2 autoimmune diseases or having, ADHD or something like that. But there are certain things I wouldn't feel comfortable writing with. But let me see. I like writing. I have written Westerns, but Westerns is such a dying genre. Like, I think Leah Moore was the only one that I could remember. I don't think I could write a Western. I like writing a lot of dark things. Even my chick lit book is about a Grim Reaper who decides to retire her scythe and become a life coach for humans. So I like to have dark twists put in there. But yeah, no, I've done erotica because I love doing erotica. I like doing horror. I like mixing things up. So I like sci-fi. I do both hard and soft sci-fi, but it really depends on what is considered hard. I like to do more speculation. Like I've got a sci-fi that deals with a binary star system and how the center sun that the planet is circling around is a brown dwarf. Yeah, a brown dwarf, and if anyone knows anything about brown dwarfs, it is has a very small habitable zone, and it is sucking the planet in. The closer and closer the planet goes, the more and more it's going to implode because of the tidal waves of the actual star. They also live on the planet at 2.5 hectokelvin. If you want to know, our sun is 54 hectokelvin. So you can see 2.5 hectokelvin is basically 0 degrees Celsius here. Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius. So Antarctica is probably the closest you're going to get to the habitable temperature in my planet. So it's very dark. The plants are very bioluminescent, and the aliens have a different structure to ours. So if anyone understood what I just said, awesome. Took me a long time to do research on all of that. I also had to do research on zero gravity because it works so much differently than what you'd see in like Star Wars, Star Trek, and all of that other fun stuff. Yeah. Devin said he watched the film version of The Last Unicorn many times. Oh, I love it. I love the film version. It's very nice. It's actually pretty close to the book too. I mean, there are certain differences, but it is pretty close. So there I went, blah blah blah, on science tangent. If you haven't caught, I actually like science and math. Math is the universal language. Literally, if you know math, you pretty much know how to speak to anyone. I also love math because you have math in science, you have math in music, you have math in art, you have math in writing. Math is everywhere. You can't run away from it, although people have tried. It doesn't work that way. Science, I'm more into genetics. I like genetics. I like neuroscience. I love learning about the brain. I'm very much into the brain and how it works. Nice. Just saw memes of The Last Unicorn on Tumblr today. I don't own a Tumblr account, so I have no idea what they would look like. There are just certain accounts I've never cared for. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Tumblr. I don't have Pinterest. Nice. Your best. Devin says that math was his best subject in high school. I was doing college math in high school. I went all the way up to college calculus, and I really enjoyed math. I think I prefer statistics to probability. I prefer a decimal system over now my brain is just going what decimals over, not percentages. Sorry, I'm completely whoop. Yeah. Hey Bonnie, how are you today? We're just sitting here, people are asking me questions, or I'm just sitting here gabbing about how I like math and science. I actually had a job as I worked for a math tutoring company at one point. But I've never written any books that had math as its main subject. I figure it would bore a lot of people, so I just haven't. I'll leave it to somebody that can make math sound fun to others. I know my older brother could never make math sound fun. He was one of those where you ask him for help and he would look at you like you were crazy and then go, well, let me explain it. And then he'd explain it in so many large technical terms that you think he's speaking Greek and you don't understand Greek. So you're going, what? And he'd look at you and go, don't you understand this? But like, I understood math, but I don't like when somebody will. There are people that know the subject and there are people that can teach the subject. My brother knew the subject, he could never teach it. Just wouldn't work that way. The place that I work with that sells mathematical puzzles, on the other hand, actually can teach math. And it's really cool. I will showcase that at one point on my channel because, I'm weird like that. I like AuthorTube, and I'm going to keep doing stuff for AuthorTube, but I also have other things I'm doing. Because for me, this is a brand. It's marketing. So, I market me. I'm mostly a writer, but I've got other things too. Do you have any questions for me, Bonnie? If not, you can just sit here and just listen to me. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's why I'm relaxed, is I just don't have anything. I don't have any list. Nothing listed on what I want to talk about. It's just we're celebrating that I got 100 subscribers. Woo! We'll see how long it takes to get the rest of them. I have learned though that I think one niche that I'm going to capitalize on is ASMR because I tend to speak with my videos like this. So YouTube has listed me as an ASMR channel. So since YouTube has decided that I am an ASMR channel, I am going to capitalize on that. That's why my next video that we are editing right now is about me reading one of my chapters in ASMR style. So I figure why not, have a little fun with it. I do also tend to dress up in cosplay. I know I'm not very cosplay today. It's more just looking nice, I guess. I like cosplay. I like, well, costuming. Most of my costumes are medieval because I work at the Renaissance Fair when we don't have COVID. I just like working everywhere. Give me all the work. I'm a Capricorn. We love to work. In fact, this is killing me. I want work. I need to do stuff. It's probably why I'm writing. It's what keeps your sanity, I think, when you're in the house. I have to be in the house. Sadly, I am very highly susceptible to this virus, or at least the outcome might not be good. Yeah. Nice, a Leo. Let's see. Trying to think how Leos would. I think I would need more than just Leo. Like I am a Capricorn with Aquarius rising, which is where you get my my creative side, with Scorpio midheaven, which means I wear lots of masks, which is what's the best job you've ever had and what's the worst job? The best job I ever had was actually working as a stable hand for a horse breeding farm when I was 12. I have to say that more because I got to learn how to ride horses. I got to learn how to clean horses, lead horses, exercise horses, break horses the right way, not the inhumane way. I learned how to shoe horses. I've learned how to take care of tax bridles and all of that stuff. So very big horse girl over there. The worst job, mostly retail. There was this one where I was actually a manager at a retail shop, and they were out of product, so they sent me 2 hours to go get the product. Now, keep in mind, I had been working a 12-hour shift. I had already gotten product the night before, and then they sent me over to they sent me over to another place, which was about an hour or two away. When we had like 6 people that came in the morning shift that were willing to go get the product. And then when I got to the first store, they told me I had to go another 2 hours away to get something else. And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't slept for about 24 hours. I need to go back and get sleep. I almost hit somebody on the way there. And my manager never told me. And then we went on the phone and he said, oh yeah, you need to go. And I said, I almost hit somebody. I need sleep. I'm not safe. And he goes, well, I said, so how do you want me to stay safe? And he said, well, just stay safe and don't hit anyone. I was like, no. So I actually went back, didn't go to the second stop, went back, gave him his stuff. And then he decided that because I wasn't going to obey orders. Now, he was the only person above me in the store. I was literally in that management position. He was the only person above me. He was the store manager. And he decided that he was going to write me up for something that all the other managers did, and then fired me. When I told him that this is unethical, he said, well, we already wrote it up, so you're fired anyways. That was probably my worst experience. Not to mention the fact that he would make me come in when I was throwing up just because another employee was throwing up. So I'm sitting here trying to work the cash register and have something to throw up in at the same time. And I'm going, you're crazy. And that's without all the other things. I could go on with that job. That job was something else. It really was. So it looks like we've got 2 more people coming in. Hey, Brooke. And the pronoun I. Awesome. Oh yeah, Megan, it was something else. I mean, there's a lot of, like, for everything that retail is, I really think that they should be paid more for one. I mean, we haven't had our minimum wage increased in about 20 or 30 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. People can't live on $7, $8 anymore. That's not how it goes. Hey, Michael Chen, welcome, welcome. Thank you on the 100. I was surprised that I got 100 people in less than a month. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna, coast or slow down, but that's fine. I'm here to have a good time. But if you guys have any questions for me, or you can think of any, even if they've been asked already, just go ahead and ask. I have no problem sitting here repeating myself. I do it enough. But yeah, I think retail workers definitely need a bit more respect and a bit more money. A lot more money. I mean, they're not as expendable as people think, although they try to say they are. It's frustrating to hear that people do that. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else I can sit here and show you guys, because I've got lots of stuff I can show. I do. Got my calligraphy stuff. Got my cat. Got games over there. Books over there. Lots of books. Lots of games. Lots of cats. Is there anything in particular that you guys will be looking forward to with the calligraphy shop? Well, not the shop. Well, I mean, you could tell me about the shop too, but I meant the workshops. Because I do actually want to, what am I writing? What am I not writing? So I tend to write a lot of dark fiction. I tend to, so right now for Pitch Wars, I'm actually sending in a book that's based on a middle grade child. That's actually some of the handwriting there. The middle grade child who he enlists the help of the Tuatha De Danann, which are Celtic fae that subsist off of the souls of the living, and to save his father from being goblin napped. And they require his soul in order to save his dad. So it actually involves the adventures of him going into a magic antique shop that goes across the world, saving little kids from really bad fae. Aw, thank you, Eva. Dang, sorry I'm late. That's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I didn't know how many people were going to show up because I popped in really just like, boop, by the way. What are you? But yeah, right now that's one thing I'm writing on. I'm also writing. I don't know why I keep re-showing this thing. I keep re-showing it. But this is called Imrata. It was actually the book that I had gotten an agent for, but I have split ways with her amicably. Nothing bad. But I shelved it because I wanted to try something different. But I like to write about anything dark. I'm very into grim fairy tales, so I like to write about true mythology and how I mean we have made Disney has made the myth arc very, very nice and fun, but fairies in real life weren't. They were anything but. And so I love to do that. The story I just showed you was about Grim Reapers. I have a paranormal chicklet that's about a Grim Reaper who retires her sight and becomes a life coach for humans. So, let's see. Do you have a copy of your book that's available? Hans? My husband's editing that book, so give me a moment. I need Hunter Imperium, love.
What?
Hunter Imperium. They wanted, yes, they wanted to see it.
You're going to be showing off the red marks, I assume.
Oh, I'll probably show. Yeah, I will show them what I've got. So this is the book that I have available. Now, this thing is 10 years old, and I have improved a lot. As you can see, my husband is going through it, and he's editing it. And hopefully, when that's all edited, I will try to bring it down and make a second copy, a second edition. But this is 10 years old. So you can buy it. It's on Amazon if you want. I'm sure Devin will share the link. But just know that this is a lot older. Let's see. Are you doing a re-release? I hope to, but the big problem is that this book on Amazon is linked to an old email I no longer have access for, so I need to figure out how I can get back on Amazon to get to KDP and change it, because that's the hard part right now. Yes, now I want a first edition. I mean, it's available for hardback, or, well, I say hardback, it's softback. It's available for softback as well as Kindle or whatever device you use. So it's still available. We haven't pulled it down. If I can remember how to access my thing, I will pull it down. If not, I'm going to be calling Amazon, because eventually we have to pull this down. This is book 1 in a trilogy, and I never put the rest of the trilogy up, though I've written the trilogy. I got embarrassed. So I tend to hide this book, but other people have found it. Let's see. Let me try to get all these questions here. What games do I have? Aside from board games, because I have a lot of board games. My husband and I do games like Go, but this is actually the game of Why. And this one is a strategy game where you have to get all 3 sides of the board with one string of line. One line. Let me see. Where are you? I don't know where he put them. With these type of Go stones, you use Go stones to connect the sides. Don't Firefly me. Does it end on a cliffhanger? Oh God, I don't even remember how this thing ended. I'm telling you, it's been that long. So when I write books, I do try to write them as standalone, but with series potential. So it kind of ends on not a cliffhanger. Like, the things that are supposed to be tied together in book 1 are tied together. That's the best I can answer for you. Let me see if I can find another game of mine. I have no idea where that game went. So I cannot find the game. I have a game from the 1500s that actually started Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, Parcheesi, all of the really old games. It was played first in Italy, and then it crossed over into Europe, into England, around Henry VIII's reign. What, do you know where it's at? Next to the couch? Let me try to find it. I think we moved it again.
Oh, you're right. I can see it. No,
No, I'm going. Oh, I see it now. Thank you. My husband's trying to help me on things. Sorry, thought I'd show you. Like, we definitely collect items. This one's actually, he's piece tied, so I can't actually pull him out. But this is actually a Starfire fighting sword replica. So you can tell we love all that kind of stuff. All right, I see the game. Let me grab it. When you live in a small apartment, you have to try to figure out where things go. Again, I'd like to thank everyone who has come today. I know it was a last minute thing, and there's all chaos and no order, it seems, but I appreciate that. These are also games that we sell at the math store. But this game was actually done in the 1500s. This is called The Royal Game of the Goose. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can actually see some of the familiarities of Candyland in there. And on the other side is actually a game that was found in the island of Crete called The Labyrinth that was all the way back to the BC. Yeah, the BC era. And that's this one. This is a game that influenced the Game of the Goose. The Game of the Goose is easier. This one is actually much harder. And the reason why they created this one is because nobody believed that anyone could play this one, which I teach people how to play both. So that's what I do at the Renaissance Fair is I teach people how to do it. We also have the book and the history of the two games. Now, fun fact, this game, I believe my husband said is over 10 or 20 years old, our version. So you can see that it actually holds up pretty well. Let me see if I can actually put this thing away. That's the hard part, is trying to put this guy away. I can get you in here. Not sure. You know what? I'll probably do it later. Literally, it is a very difficult game to put back in its pouch. So I'll put it on my Papu-san while I'm talking to you guys. All right. Sorry about that. We also have your normal games, like any of the board games you can think of. We tend to have, we like playing Risk, and we have Call of Cthulhu. We have Arkham Asylum type games. We're just gamers. I don't think we have enough games as we do books. I think our books are still more than our games, at least the amount we have. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking up to see what people. Do you have a copy of a book that's available to purchase near you? If you knew where I lived, I mean, I've got like 5 or 6 copies that were supposed to go to people, but they didn't. The problem is they have their names in them, but they don't have their addresses. That's why they couldn't go to them. I used to order a whole bunch of Amazon or a whole bunch of books from KDP. They were CreateSpace at the time. And then I would bring them to conventions, and I always sold out at conventions, which was very frustrating because then I would try to ship them. And a lot of times I would be successful at doing that. And then there were times when I either lost the address or something happened and I wasn't successful at them. Always make sure you keep your addresses. And if I meet these guys in person anywhere, I will give them a free copy of not just the book that they bought, but probably whatever book I'm selling at the time, because I owe it to them. I feel bad that this was more than 10 years ago, so they might not even remember that I exist. Do I write dedications for your stories? Sometimes. The dedication in this book is to an old boyfriend that will. Let's see. I think I've introduced you to my old boyfriend. Let me see. This is the ex-boyfriend. Yeah. I will probably end up changing it at some point, but yeah, it was at the time it was an appropriate dedication. I'd probably dedicate it to, I do have an acknowledgments page too. So. And I would definitely acknowledge people that are my beta readers and things like that, because that stuff should be acknowledged. Take time out. Any characters based off your parents? Absolutely not. I don't base any characters off of people I know. I might take certain aspects from people I know, but I never base characters off of people at all, because I don't think I can A, do them justice, B, if I say something that upsets anyone, and that's the thing, is you never know what's going to upset somebody. But if I say something that's going to upset them and it's in print and the world knows about it, even if the world doesn't know who the people know who they are. And I wouldn't do that. The closest thing I can say is the characters are based off of the aspects of my own mind.
Tremaine.
Tremaine and Mama was based off of you and me before I met you. Yes, I have two characters, ironically. One of them was based off of me when I was working as a barista at a coffee shop. And then I meet my husband and I find out that her love interest is exactly like my husband. But he was made 2 or 3 years ago before I met my husband. So he likes to point that out, but it wasn't intentional because I never knew this guy. I never knew him at first. Let's see. Do I know how far chess goes back? I don't. Sadly, that's one thing I don't know, but I do know it goes back pretty far. I think it's as old as Go is, and Go went back into ancient China. They might be even older than that. I'm actually I love playing chess. I don't have it here with me. I think it's with my parents in Tennessee, but I do have a brass and mahogany, or no, a brass antique chess set that I bought when I was in Egypt. It is a full Egyptian. It's beautiful. It's brass, copper, and the board is teak, with little hieroglyphic tiles in it. And I love that chess set. It would be more expensive here in the United States than what I actually paid for. And even then, they were disappointed that I didn't haggle. Ha ha ha. Chattanooga. They did live in Knoxville. They did live in Knoxville at some point. I barely know the rules in chess. My husband could probably go over chess a lot. I'm very rusty. I used to be in the chess club, and I used to play chess a lot. I got into Go, and Go is a lot different. Let me see what other questions. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys decided to come over. I know that, last minute stuff. Whoop. Let's see. Oh, consider yourself on deadline for all 3 releases. I can try. I mean, the problem is that these books need heavy rewriting. Heavy rewriting. And the other 2 books in the trilogy have not even had one rewrite. They're still in their handwritten form. You're not the first. I've actually had people, when I had my DeviantArt set up, mad at me because I didn't have the other books out. Honestly, when I published that book, it was just to publish for my family. And before I knew it, I was selling more copies than I thought capable of. So I don't know. Let's see. I love all the husband interjections. That's because he tries to keep me on my toes, because I tell you, I forget things. It's like a goldfish brain. Oh, see, now I can't even remember her name. The fish on Finding Nemo. The one who's always forgetting things. That's kind of how I am. Dory. There we go. Dory? I hope it's Dory. Oh God. Yeah, but that's how it is. Yeah, so he will interject because he's hearing me. He's probably even participating, for all I know. So he's probably lurking, and he'll hear something or see something that I should talk about. Being your authentic self along the way. Aw. I hope I'm authentic enough. I don't know any other way to be, honestly. Let's see. The only place I could have was a comic shop. I feel like I've seen this game before. You might have seen the Game of Goose before. You might have. comes in many forms. Uh, so what was interesting about this game is it was a drinking game, and it was also a game that got the Catholic monks in a lot of trouble because they thought it was demonic. So what they would do is they would make the Catholic version, which would be like monks and all this fun stuff to mask what it was, so people wouldn't get upset with them because, oh, look, it's not a drinking pub game, it's not a demonic game, it's a game about monks. So the game of Goose has come in many, many forms. And when I sell it in the Renaissance Fair, I actually have people come up to me and go, I remember that in France. I remember that in Italy. They still play it in France in their pubs right now. It is actually a very popular game. And it did, like I say, create all the other games, which is rather fun. I never knew how anyone was playing the games that looked neatest. They'd always tell me which is the best part of games, but never retained a lick of it. It's probably because I have been trained to actually sell that game. I sell that game on a regular basis. In fact, if you guys are interested, I can give you the link to actually buy that. Keep in mind, though, that we have two versions. We have a game that is made out of a vinyl leather type, and we have this game. They have both games on either side. You get the books, you get different type of tokens for them. That one is $150, I think. It might be a little cheaper, it might be a little more expensive. The other one that is vinyl is about 70 or 80. Don't quote me, but believe me, I retain a lot of it because I sell that game every year and I love that game. I'm actually called the Goose Mistress because I goose people when I play. Anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, hello ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I've always called this guy the ex. He's paired up with the other coffee mug. So, I mean, somebody just asked me one day what he was called, and I just said the ex because it was the easiest thing I could think of. So, Eva, your daughter did what my parents did, but in reverse. They started out in Knoxville and they moved to Chattanooga. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with everything. Yeah, the fact that I forgot Dory's name is so perfect. You're absolutely right. It's what's the name, huh? Hey, Natalie, welcome. Burying them leaves too much evidence. Hey, it's easy. Look. I've got a map on the skull. Maybe we can find out where that map goes, right? In all honesty, he's actually the real ex is married with children and he's doing good. I'm not friends with him, but I'm friends with his mom, and I was great friends with his grandmother. So, in all honesty, he's doing well, and I don't wish any harm or any, I don't have any problems with him. If I would have married him, I would have never had my husband. I absolutely adore my husband, so I'm okay with that. And I think I saw something where somebody was like, I already knew what I wanted. Yeah, honestly, what happened was when when my ex and I had broken up, I had decided I wanted to be a certain thing. I wanted people to realize that I dress up in costume and I like to go to the Renaissance Fair and I like to do anime and LARP and I even do boffer LARPing. So, I like doing all that. I'm weird, I'm goofy, I'm crazy, which is something that I like to do. And I've had people since I used to be a model. I was a model when I was 18. I modeled for department stores and I got into an agency. I just stopped that because it just wasn't my thing. But I would have a lot of people that wanted me to be arm candy instead, and they just didn't care about me. I had one guy that didn't even want me to be a writer because I had to stay home and be with babies. And I'm going, no, I want more in my life. I want to have kids. I want to be a mom, but I don't want to just have a specific thing that is mine and mine alone. So when I decided before I met my husband, I wrote a bio on OkCupid. Yeah, I actually did OkCupid, and I listed every single thing I liked in my bio, every single thing that I was. That's fine, Nikki. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. Honestly, just welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Believe me, heck, I'm only talking because I'm not getting any more questions, so I'm just babbling. I mean, my hard deadline is probably 7 o'clock or 7:15 or something, because 7:30 is when my D&D game starts. So I have to be off by then. I just keep going. I would continue talking until there was nobody left, I guess. So I'll out talk everyone. Um, but yeah, I had put my biography on OkCupid, leaving nothing out. And I even put in there, if you don't like anything that I am saying, anything that I'm doing, if you want to try to control me in any way, get step and I don't want to talk to you. And my husband actually wrote, I like your bio. And what was funny is that he was looking for somebody to go to the Renaissance Fair with. That's honestly what he was looking for. That's all he wanted. He wasn't going, oh, okay, maybe I'll actually be with this lady. He just wanted somebody to go to the Renaissance Fair with, and you know, we started having internet conversations for about 2 months, I think. So unfortunately, we did not go to the Renaissance Fair at that time. And then we got to know each other, and the first time we met was at a pub, and I had his picture, but most of them were military pictures, so you've got the hat, sometimes you don't know what you're looking for. But he said he would be, waiting at the front. So I go to the pub and I see this guy who's 6'1" or 6'3". The military says he's 6'1", but his 6'5" cousin says he's 6'3", and he measures at 6'3". I don't care how much what he says. He's gonna keep fighting on me. But he was looking at me wearing his cloak. And he had this long black cloak, and I was like, he's tall. I'm 5'1", so yeah. And it was just funny. Let's see. Have you ever had short hair? Yes. In fact, I normally, like, this is very long right now. Normally I cut it, I bob it where it's high up here, and then it comes down and probably hits the shoulders. But because of COVID, I've just kind of kept it this way. I prefer when it's a bit short, but I'm okay with it being long. I prefer it's a bit short because there's more body to it. Right now, it's just very stringy because I have very fine hair. My husband has longer hair than I do, but he actually donates it for wigs for cancer patients. So, and he's got very long, thick, wavy, dark hair. He can't grow a beard to save his life, so he got out of the military and started growing his hair. Let's see, you mentioned wanting to have kids. Ignore this question if it's too personal or unknown, but author to baby shower 2021. That'd be nice, but the problem is I have to wait for my doctor. I was told when I was 18 that I couldn't have children, and because of complications due to my 2 autoimmune diseases, we're watching. My doctor said I'm almost cleared to have children. It's not the fact of having them, it's the fact of carrying them. They're afraid I'm going to have to be in the hospital for 9 months during the whole duration. So, I mean, I don't mind doing an author 2 baby shower, but I do know that it might not be 2021. I wouldn't mind because I'll be 35. Yeah. I know I don't look my age, but yeah, I'm actually going to be. Most people think I'm still in my 20s, if not younger. I don't know why, but okay. It's not. I'm pretty easygoing. I can answer almost any personal question unless it becomes too personal, and then I'll say something. But pretty good at that. Let's see. That's such a valuable thing, though, finding someone to do the things you really love. It is. I think when a lot of people say that they don't find their love, I'm like, do you love yourself first? Because you have to really love yourself and learn what you want and what your value, how you value yourself. Because if you have a really hard, if you don't value yourself and you're just feeling certain ways, it's hard to let somebody in. You have to know yourself, and you have to know what you want, and you have to be willing to compromise. I've had a lot of people tell me that they wish they had my relationship, and I'm like, yeah, but we work on it. We even have a counselor, because if we'd rather get to know each other and compromise and work things out before it gets really bad, because we're 2 different people. Even though we've known each other for 10 years, we're still 2 different people. we still have things that are, not always meshing. So I think everyone should have some type of counselor to talk to them, to be a mediary in case you don't see each other's eye to eye. Let's see. 5'6" in the morning and 5'5" at night. Have him measure the first thing when he stands up in the morning, last thing before he goes to bed. We lose height. He says that it's because of his shoes. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea, but I'll have to figure that out at some point because I can't measure him though because I am really short. Like I come up on his stomach area. I'm short. I mean, technically, I'm 5 foot on one leg and 5'1" on the other because my legs are actually different heights, and then I've got a twisted spine, so I'm short. My spine is actually 5'4", but it doesn't stand that way, not anymore. Oh yeah, glad you're openly discussing it with your doctor. I was told it was unlikely to have another child. First was at age 16. Yeah. I have to be open with my doctors because my doctors are who keep me alive, honestly. You have to. My doctors are always there with me. If I need something, it's either my doctors or my mother-in-law, 'cause she's a type 1 diabetic too. She got her type 1 diabetes when she was in her 40s due to medication malfunction with a liver or a kidney. I'm not sure, but yeah, diabetes is interesting. It's not always a weight related thing, but type 1 is always, always, always an autoimmune and is uncurable unless you do a pancreatic transplant. Unfortunately, they only tend to give pancreatic transplants to those who aren't taking care of themselves anyways. So the rest of us, we can just live on our cybernetics. So at least I can walk around and be a cyborg. Let's see. Nice, 41% done with your novel. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to start doing sprints at some point, live stream sprints, but I need to figure out what will be a good time because technically I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm thinking about doing overnight streams because there's not that many that happen due to most people in America going to bed. I'm a night person. Took us 12 years of trying, over 17 years together. Hey, it's never, there are people that have babies in their 40s. I think as long as you have help and that you have other people. I know my husband and I are also planning on adopting children because we want 3, but he does not want to try more than one biological with me. We also have a few people that are willing to surrogate in case I can't carry. Yeah, that's really what it is I was told I couldn't carry for several reasons when I was 18, and then this just complicated things. Use a ladder. I wish I had a ladder in my house. I need one. Yeah, no, that's very lucky though, Eva. Gestational diabetes, thankfully, most of the time goes away, which I don't wish this thing on anyone. I don't. It's such a pain. I mean, what it has done is it has taught me about nutritional value of food and what to eat and what not to eat. And that's probably the best thing it's ever done for me. It's also taught me the importance of drinking water, everyone, and exercise. That is what it, and keeping your doctor's appointments. I'm sorry, so many people are like, I don't like my doctors. Well, there's reasons to have, if you don't like your doctor, go find another one. There are reasons to have doctors. I mean, they're smarter than we are in some aspects. Now, there are bad doctors. Trust me, I had a horrible cardiologist, so there are bad doctors. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Eva. I hope I'm saying it right, Eva, or is it Ava? I know that there's names they've got different pronunciations. do some at night. Yeah. No, it drives me crazy. I really kind of want to do one at 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Nice. I'll probably stop by Nikki's stream unless my D&D goes long. I mean, really, last time it went till about almost 1 o'clock our time. So I have very long D&D games. We're fairly sure we're done, though I was looking into fostering pre-pandemic. And kids always need to be fostered. That's definitely something to do. It's difficult from what I've been told, but see, I love evening sprints. I'm always ready to sprint after work, but everyone is usually done by then. Which time zone do you live in, Megan, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, I do I literally like wake up at 1 something and I stay up till 4 or 1300 to 0400 for anyone on the 24-hour time. And it only happened after the pandemic because I am not able to go to my job, the job that I own anymore, because um I'm a financial auditor and there's just certain things you can't do remotely. And so I can't do my auditing remotely. So, and my doctors have said I'm not allowed to contact people outside of my little bubble because I'm really one of those underlying conditions people, which is scary. I don't know what Instant Star is. You'll have to let me know, Nikki. Is it Nikki or Nicole? Which one do you prefer? Yeah, I could imagine that that would be very difficult to have children. You've talked about your disability. So it's really sad because there's a lot of people that want children that can't have children, and there's a lot of people that have lots of children and only want them for bad reasons. Uh, Not all of them, mind you, but it gets really frustrating when people say that you're not a woman unless you have kids. You're like, guys, come on. I'm a woman, I swear. Let's see, friend with 3 daughters. Yeah, type diabetes runs in the family. It really does. And that's I wish we could cure it. I know we've been trying, but it's you have to cure the immune system, and that's the hard part. For me, especially with type 1, I don't know much about type 2. So the only thing I know about type 2 is that it can be managed. It can almost be reversed, but the problem is if you started going back to eating before you were diagnosed with diabetes, you'll go back into diabetes. So I call it managed but not cured. But type 1 is like I've had people tell me that if I became a vegan, I'd lose my type 1 diabetes. And I'm like, no, because it's not going to grow back my pancreas. I mean, my immune system decided to actually kill the insulin cells in that produce insulin in the pancreas. So I'm missing cells that are supposed to get my body to work, and there's no amount of diet and exercise that's going to stop that. I do exercise, I do diet. I've lost 35 pounds this entire year. I'm trying to lose more because I need to lose 95 in total. So it's like my A1C is 6.2, which would be pre-diabetic if that actually worked for a type 1 diabetic, but it doesn't. It's like you have to take out the immune system in order to get anything to grow back. So let's see. Eva. Okay. That's what I thought, but like I said, I've seen it where people pronounce the names differently. So I never went by it in waking life. Got it. Okay. No, I know Mountain Time. I lived in Colorado for 16 years, so I know Mountain Time. So my 1 o'clock stream would be 11. I think that's 3 hours. Yeah, I think it's about 11 o'clock. Yes, I definitely write fantasy and sci-fi. I was talking about one of my gothic space opera sci-fis with its red dwarf stars and everything. I mostly do contemporary fantasy. I like doing very dark, fantasy meets our world. I do have a high fantasy that has law magic because I like Brandon Sanderson stuff. So I actually a I wrote a book while I'm in the middle of writing that book where the magic is so integral that without it the whole world dies. I so it depends on the book about romantic plots. Let me see. So I think I've showed this one to you guys before. And for those who haven't seen it, I will show the page that everyone's most familiar with. This one is actually about a vampire that lives off the blood of other vampires to basically track them down when they are murderers and all of that, and kills them or punishes them. And he meets up with some vampire hunters, and they are supposed to track down a serial killer that's very much like Jack the Ripper. This is just the first book. In the first book, they actually get married, and then, or he marries one of the hunters, and then the rest of the books in the series are about their relationship as well as them solving murders together. So, and she stays human. So it is literally about human vampire dichotomy, living together, dealing with the fact that they're two separate individuals, and they're fighting crime together. So I do a lot. I love relationships, but this one's actually dedicated more to my husband because he told me that there's too many books where it stops at the marriage. It doesn't go further than that. It doesn't talk about the actual, what it's like to live with somebody. And so there's a lot of people in America, at least America. I don't know about the other countries. I might know a bit about Germany, but that's because I lived there. But there's a lot of people that think that once you find that person, you say I do, it's happily ever after, and there's no problems. And he was like, I want you to write about somebody who actually has problems with in a marriage as well. And so that's this series. Now this series will come out eventually, but I don't know. I'm still more trying to be traditionally published, even if I've got a book that is out. The other book series is the Immaratus. Well, it's called the Deathwalker series. It's about these Grim Reapers that protect humans from these murderous ghosts that are trying to eat them so that they can come back to life. In that book, that's actually a paranormal romance. So it is all romance, but it has 3 plots in each book. I'm very, very picky about it. I love having a lot of, deep meanings in there. With the Grim Reapers, every one of them, their souls are split and actually put into 2 bodies. So they have to find their other half, their Immarata, within a certain amount of years. And if they don't, they go insane and they become the ghost that they're trying to hunt. So that one is also romance. I will do romance in my plots if I think that they actually mean something. I don't put a romance in just for the sake of a romance, and I don't really like triangles, dodecahedrons, all the type of weird love stuff going on. It drives me crazy because I'm like, especially since a lot of it's written as one guy, she likes one guy, or they like her, and this other guy likes her, and then by the end we find out this guy's horrible and this guy's good, and I'm like, but what about a love triangle where both are good and she just has to decide what she wants? We don't have to make one bad just to make the other one look good. It doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, it's my rambling spree, my ramble. I ramble a lot. Yeah, can't have contact with people outside. I understand that. Let's see. Yes, I love Brandon Sanderson stuff, and the high fantasy that I'm writing with that epic dark fantasy has a law magic system that without the magic it would crumble. Is that what you call it? Pronoun I, the Great Black Book. It's actually blue. Or no, let me see. My eyes are wrong. This is black. The the paging here is silver fleur-de-lis that make it look almost bluish. So I can understand where I got that. Yeah. HEA isn't one chapter. I know. I definitely want to incorporate um, relationships are they last longer than just saying I do or having a marriage. And it drives me crazy when you have a couple that's fallen in love with one another, and then in book 2 she dies or he dies, they get divorced, they get this, that. I'm like, come on, just so you can put in a new love interest. Stop that. Some of it. That's why people are messed up about relationships, quite frankly. At least that's my opinion. Let's see. I hope to hybrid as well. Yeah. Some projects I only want self-published, but some I will query. They do say that a lot of paranormal romance is better to be self-published because, and this is my experience with the editing side of things, is that at this moment people are really not the big publishing companies are like, oh yeah, paranormal romance is dead, we're all done with it. Not really. There's a lot of readers that beg for it and beg for really good romance or paranormal romance. Yeah, I try to get used to the fact of self-publishing too, because I grew up at a time where self-publishing just wasn't a good thing. Like my first book I ever queried was to Tor Publishing House without an agent. I was 12 and I had to mail it. No email. That stuff didn't work. What are we talking about? The internet really didn't even come out until, or at least come known to the public until I was older. Like I wasn't a just nope. Didn't even have my first cell phone until I was 18. Don't mind romances, but it feels like the slow pacing for me. Yeah, I think it has to be done right. Honestly, I think it needs to be done right, and there are a lot of people that they just don't. I think they write it for the sake of, look, I've got a romance, or they think that's mandatory. And I'm like, it's not. Plus, there are so many different romances. You could have sister sister. It's not a romance, it's a relationship. You still love them, but love them as a sister. Well, that's a deep relationship to write about brothers, sisters, cousins. It doesn't have to be the kissy kissy romance that so many people are used to. it that's what I think people got upset with Frozen, and I'm like, why? It's a beautiful relationship between two sisters. I mean, that's what Disney was trying to do. They wanted to introduce something that was not the romance love, the guy meets girl romance. And plus, there's a lot more romances than guy meets girl, anyways, nowadays. I mean, there always have been. It's just now we're being more acceptable of it. Because believe me, I have friends who were gay, what, back in the 60s and 50s, and they're now able to get married, or he was able to get married to his husband. That didn't, that was stuff that was very hush hush in the closet. Even growing up for me, I was 80s, 90s. It's very hush hush. Now it's acceptable. So we can do a lot more now. Yes. You think I need to stop at 7? My husband's giving me a 2-minute warning. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I know that I have a game at 7:30, so I can either cut it at 7 or I could stretch it out a little bit longer, but I couldn't go past 7:15. So, you know. So yeah, just let me know. Oh God, he is listening to me. I can hear it on his end. idea of doing a rapid release. I'm nowhere near such things, and I don't know enough to do. Well, thank you for stopping by, Eva. I'm glad, and now I did go a little robot-y, probably. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, you enjoy that shower. I had one earlier. They feel so good. So is there anything else, anyone else? Anything else, anyone else? Yeah, this is me talking. Is there anything else anyone wants to know? For instance, like I've written 20 books. Most of them won't see the light of day, but I've written a lot. I won't be late, Megan. It's actually on roll 20, so but I can understand that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed talking. I was actually surprised that I got up to 10 people, which is awesome. Because believe me, I'm not used to this, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm cool, maybe I'm not. It does, I guess for some people it seems a lot. I kind of look at it and think it's not enough, but then again, I'm reminded of Asimov's 500-600 books he's got over there, short stories. And I've been writing for 22 years, so that's about a book a year, give or take. I also do about 5 to 10 projects at a time. ADD, ADHD. Aw. Aw, I got some likes. I'm surprised I don't have any dislikes. Aw, thank you, Devin. Oh yeah, no, Asimov is insanely prolific. If I felt more confident in writing short stories, I'd probably be the same way. But, hashtag awesome Catherine. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I do know that I will be I will be doing, so I've got the ASMR chapter 1 reading of my book that's going to be coming up in a day or two. We're finishing the edits. My husband wants to add awesome sound effects. He's actually going to upload 2. He's going to add one without sound effects and one with sound effects, so people have a choice. Because I know some people might not like sound effects, so might as well. I do warn you, it is dark lighting because I wanted to make it spooky, so hopefully you don't mind just seeing like a brightly lit ghost white face because it makes it spooky. I'm reading a ghost story after all, I might as well, right? After that, I'm going to make sure I do a Pitch Wars video since I am entering Pitch Wars, which is an awesome competition where people they submit to a whole bunch of mentors that have been in the industry, whether they're published already, they have an agent, stuff like that, and then they pick somebody. The mentors will pick someone to mentor for 3 months and fix their work, and then you're put in front of like 50 to 60 agents. So it's a nice opportunity to see. And I used to have an agent, for anybody who doesn't know that, but I think everyone knows that at least is watching. I split ways with her amicably, and I chose to do a different genre and a different age group than what she was representing. So we decided to just kind of, it's fine. We're still friends, so we talk. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to be doing my calligraphy workshops. If you guys have any, if you guys want to know, if you guys have any questions about it, or you have anything in particular you want to see with the calligraphy, or if you have any other questions, you can just leave them in the comments. I have enough time in my life that I can answer most of them. I think I can answer all of them so far. Maybe if I get into the bigger channels, I'll have a harder time to do that. But for right now, I'm pretty much able to answer any question given to me. So let's see. Thank you guys, Eva and Megan, for saying good luck. I can hope. It's a 2.5% chance. Let's be honest. It's a small chance. So hopefully I'll get there. And if I don't, that's fine. I'll clean everything. I'll do another pass on my stuff and send it out to agents and query. There's a lot of avenues. This is just one avenue, and I'd like to see if I can do it. You know, in 2018, I had entered Pitch Wars, and I even had a mentor interested in my work, but then I pulled out because I actually got an offer from an agent. So, and an offer I took, obviously. And so I had to pull out because if you have an agent, you're not allowed to be in this competition. Makes sense. Think of questions for 200 sub celebration. I'm kind of wondering if I should do a karaoke celebration for 200, or if I need to do something else, show off artwork. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if there's a co-host. Maybe I'll see if I can get my husband to actually show his face, if we can do a talk about writing and editing in general. For those of you who don't know, he's my co-author, but he doesn't like to show himself. So the Catherine Faye is the name we've decided to go under. It's like Aaron Hunter. Aaron Hunter, who wrote The Warriors, is actually 4 people now. It was 3, now it's 4. And it was actually started by an editor at HarperCollins who HarperCollins said that they wanted a book about feral cats. So this editor grabbed people that she liked and said, "Hey, you want to write this book, this book that HarperCollins wants?" And they said yes, but instead of having all these names, they just made a name. So that's what we did, is we just made a name. Yeah, a face reveal. Yeah, maybe I'll make him put his hair down too, because he doesn't do that much either. Yeah, my husband is my co-writer, my editor, and he also edits my videos. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. All right. Oh, look, I'm also glad that you guys decided to come to my thing instead of President Trump's campaign that's going live somewhere on the I'm just seeing it on the autoplay or something. Anyways. All right. Well, I don't have anything written down below here because it was really a pop-up, but I need to put my socials on here. I do have a Twitter account. I have an Instagram account. They're all, I know. I know, Megan. I don't know how many, I don't know anyone personally. Well, no. There are people in my extended family that do support him, not me. So I don't know anyone in this group that would, but heck, I mean, I'm glad people are coming here. Might as well. Yes, he's a very handy husband. Oh yeah, karaoke's on Meadows channel tomorrow. Awesome. I have D&D all day tomorrow. So I probably won't be able to get there either. Yeah, D&D is big on Saturdays and Sundays for me. All right. Yeah, I was saying I have Twitter, I have Instagram. Under Twitter is Catherine Faye 007. There was at one point another Catherine Faye without the 007. And my agent at the time got that confused and started celebrating that girl, and then she found out it was the wrong one. It was hilarious. I think it got taken down because of it, but it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I was like, I just laughed and gave her the correction because I thought it was hilarious. Instagram is either Catherine Faye or it's Catherine Faye 007. The reason why I use 007 is because my driver's license has 007. So I'm an agent, 007. Let's see. Patreon link is in my other videos. I haven't posted it to this one. If anyone's interested, I'm not forcing anyone to join my Patreon. There is some behind the scenes. You get to see all my goofy goofs. I'm eventually going to open it up for editing services if you want. Eventually I'm going to put polls on there so that people can vote for what videos they want me to do. And I know I'm going to have exclusives on the shops and stuff like that. I might have more. It just depends. Right now, I'm just trying to get better equipment because I'm just using a phone right now. And a cardboard box. A phone and a cardboard box because that's what you need. And then, of course, you have my YouTube channel here. So I appreciate it, you guys. I'm going to let you guys go now because it is 7:09 and I need to get ready for my D&D. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.